All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're digging into a huge question that's changing pretty much everything. What does it actually mean to be creative now, in the age of AI? This is the big question, isn't it? It's that little bit of anxiety that so many of us are feeling. Whether you're a creative, a professional, or really anyone. Is this incredible technology going to make our most human spark, well, obsolete? The short answer? No. 1,000 times no. This is not a story about us being replaced. It's actually a story about synergy. We are right at the very beginning of a really powerful, brand new kind of creative partnership. But to really master this new partnership, we have to get our heads around the fact that the rules of creativity itself are being rewritten. So let's break down what that actually looks like. You know the old idea of creativity, right? The lone genius struck by a mysterious flash of insight. Well, that's kind of getting an update. The new reality is this shift toward what people are calling hybrid creativity, this incredible synergy between a human mind and an AI. So, what is hybrid creativity? Well, think of it as a new kind of teamwork. It's where you and an AI work together to create something that neither of you could have possibly made on your own. The absolute key here is to stop seeing AI as a competitor and start seeing it as a co-creator, a really, really capable creative partner. Maybe a better way to think about AI's role is as an amplifier. It takes care of the tedious stuff, the grunt work, which frees up our brains for bigger, more strategic thinking. It can help us bust past our own biases by throwing out ideas we'd never think of. It doesn't replace our ingenuity, it just turns the volume way, way up. Okay, so if AI is our new amplifier, what skills do we need to tune it? Well, here's the surprising part. To really thrive in this new world, you don't need to become more like a machine. You actually need to become more human. And this is such an empowering idea, right? Success isn't necessarily about running out and learning how to code. It's really about doubling down on the things that AI just can't do. Your judgment, your taste, your intuition, and your critical thinking. So this tells us exactly where to focus. First, critical thinking is absolutely essential. You've got to evaluate what the AI gives you, because sometimes it can hallucinate, which is a nice way of saying it just makes stuff up. Second, problem solving is now all about asking the right questions to guide the AI. And finally, there's this totally new skill popping up, prompt engineering. And that skill, prompt engineering, brings us to what might just be the single most important new literacy of our time: mastering the art of conversation with an AI. Prompt engineering is basically the art and science of talking to an AI. It's how you get in the driver's seat. By learning how to write clear, detailed, and evolving instructions, you turn the AI from this kind of magical, unpredictable box into a precise, powerful tool that follows your creative lead. So how do you actually do it? Well, first, be crystal clear and give it plenty of context. Tell it what you're doing and why. Then, define the exact format you want back. And here's a fantastic trick. Assign the AI a persona. Tell it, act as a world-class chef or adopt the tone of a skeptical journalist. It can dramatically change the output. And you can get even more sophisticated. There are advanced techniques like chain of thought, where you literally ask the AI to think step by step to solve a problem. Or few shot prompting, where you give it a couple of examples of what you want to teach it, a specific style. Mastering these moves you from just a user to a true creative director. Now, having the skills is one thing, but integrating them into a real-world workflow that actually speeds up innovation, that's the next level. The perfect framework for this is something called iterative design. It sounds technical, but it's really just a continuous loop of creating something, testing it, and then refining it. The whole idea is to fail fast and learn faster, and AI is built to supercharge that exact mindset. And you can see how AI can pour jet fuel on every single stage of this cycle. It can analyze massive amounts of data in the planning phase, generate hundreds of different prototypes for design, and even help you test them. This AI-powered loop lets you go from a rough idea to a polished product faster than ever before. Now, here is a fascinating paradox when you're working with AI. If you try to micromanage it with super rigid rules, it often backfires. Real mastery comes from guiding its intent.
giving it a clear vision but not dictating every single tiny step. It's weird, but by letting go of that tight control, you actually unlock more creative freedom and get more surprising and often better results.
This brings us to our final and honestly most critical section, because with all of this incredible new creative power comes an immense amount of responsibility. And here's why. An AI can generate almost anything, but it cannot judge. It has no moral compass, no sense of ethics, no understanding of fairness. And that makes your oversight, your human judgment, not just important, but absolutely fundamentally indispensable. Your role now becomes being the final filter. You're the one who has to make sure the AI's output is actually valid and high quality. You have to actively check for hidden biases. You have to establish who's accountable for the final product. And you have to navigate this brand new murky world of intellectual property. This is where your humanity is most valuable.
Ultimately, the future isn't really about what AI can do on its own. It's about what we choose to do with it. The success of this whole revolution hinges on our ability, on your ability, to infuse this incredible technology with purpose, with fairness, and with accountability. Your creativity isn't being replaced. It's just being given a new, more essential, and frankly more powerful job to do.